Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be doing WWE Battleground 2017 predictions. First off, I want to say that the wrestling thing, not sure. I may start putting things on breakdown, but the predictions and like live results after pay-per-views, I will definitely be talking about them on this channel. Whether or not they'll be on the other channel, I don't know. I just don't know. Still thinking about it. Still weighing my decision on that thing. But I will say this: I have been uploading very frequently lately. If you want to know if you have some certain videos, type of videos you've been following, make sure you hit the bell notification to know that you can catch those videos when they. I know some videos, may not be for everybody that I upload. So pick and choose, pick videos you want to watch. Do what you got to do. I know you got better things to do with your life than watch me rolling a dice off camera and playing some weird game. I understand this. Anyways, I do music reviews and movie reviews and food reviews and things like that. So I do a lot of different stuff on the channel, and I was kind of sorting my cards over here that I did in previous videos. There's that, which I don't even know if I put that video up yet. I'm seeing things. I'll tell you right now. Anyways, let's get to the hand. Why you're here. The reason why you clicked on the video. If you're here live with me, that's why you're here. Battleground 2017. If you come in and I don't say anything to you, well, no one's here yet, so you're not going to know. But if you ever come in live, I don't know how this thing works, so just be aware of that. Leave a comment. I'll get back to you later at a later date. But if you catch this later, like I said, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I answer all my comments on all my videos. I will answer you. I'm not joking. I mean, later on, if I get more fans, subscribers, whatever, may become a problem. But I mean, I answered every single comment. I'll either give you a thumbs up or I will respond to you. I usually try and say something like, "Thank you for the comment," even if you're being a butthole. Thank you for the comment. Anyway, whatever. Let's get to the thing. So supposedly, the pre-show is going to be Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. There we go. That's his name. For some reason, it was escaping me what his name was. I'm assuming Ty Dillinger is going to go over here. It'd be cool if Aiden English got a win here, because I think Aiden English needs something. But I don't think they really care. But they wanted to kind of start like a mini feud with him and kind of something small they could get going with him and Ty Dillinger to where they could put on SmackDown every week. They could use this and kind of build up a storyline between them if Aiden got the win. My prediction, probably Ty Dillinger, though. So whatever. This is a very predictable review. And I did watch Steven Larson beforehand, but I do have some ideas that they didn't say that I think will be a little bit unpredictable. So whatever. And then I had the WWE thing pulled up before I went live. Just kind of give me the idea of what all matches were and everything. Because I know last time I think, what was it, Great Balls of Fire? I missed the freaking Enzo and Cass match. And to be honest, I would have picked Enzo to win, so I would have lost that prediction. But anyways, so Breezango, supposedly, there might be a reveal of who the attacker was. Now, they did this before, and they basically didn't give us an answer. And Steven Larson seemed to believe that it's going to be the club, which I don't know. I don't know if that would be right or not. I think that I don't know. I just don't really know who it would be. Be Rowan. Who knows? Could be Rowan and another guy. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities who it's going to be. I think it's going to be something like I don't think it's going to be something we expect. It's going to be something that's going to be very stupid, just like the whole Jason Jordan thing. It's going to be something dumb, and it's not going to be the club. I don't think it's going to be a club. I think it's going to be either Luke and Rowan, which Steven Larson mentioned that like we haven't even said anything about them lately, and they don't really have them on TV very much. So maybe motivation for them to get back together is maybe like just to destroy the comedy act in the WWE or something. But and that very obvious could be it. Or Dolph Ziggler and Rowan could get together, like a tag team, Beauty and the Beast or something like that. But I think there was already a team called that, called Beauty and the Beast a long time ago. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure there was a tag team thing. Say something down below if you watch this later, because I probably won't know then either. If you watch this a year from now, I probably still won't know. Anyway, because there's been a couple times in history where I stopped watching wrestling. I've been watching wrestling consistently for about 6-7 years right now. But there was a time like when Punk debuted, I was watching pretty religiously. But then they weren't really doing anything with him for a brief time. He won the title, and then I remember him winning the title, and I kind of got back into it. But then they had him lose the title really, automatically, like really quick, and then I kind of got out of wrestling for a little bit there because it just irritated me that they were still doing what I didn't want them to do, and it's just they were following that path of accomplishing nothing and just putting the belt on Cena, whatever. It wasn't interesting at all, so I wasn't really paying attention to the product. But there was a lot of other things that were going on, like the whole Shawn Michaels Chris Jericho feud. I'd never seen any of that, so there's things I miss and I won't remember. So if I make comments or if I don't make a comment about something that happened during that period, you know what? Anyways, long stray from the path. But anyways, I don't know who it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Club. If it is, I'd be surprised. Because I think they need tag teams on Raw. They can't afford to get rid of teams on Raw. Who else do they have? Yeah, they don't have anybody on Raw, so they can't really get rid of anybody. I don't see why people are thinking the Club's going to show up, because if they do, what's going to go on with the tag team division from Raw? Hardys can't stay together forever. I'm sorry. If they do, it's going to get boring. Like a year from now, people are not going to be, they're going to be booing the Hardys. So what's going to happen? I'm going to just call it right now. If they try and keep them together, it's not going to work. And then I believe I think they had Baron and Shinsuke as Nakamura as the next match. Baron Corbin and then Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know what's going to happen here. I would assume that something needs to happen in. See, this is why I got to stop watching people's prediction videos, because I'm getting colluded. I watch Steven Larson and now they're in my head. But okay, so if I forget everything they said on their prediction video, I think that Nakamura is just going to beat Corbin, and that's what I'm going to say. Nakamura is probably going to beat Corbin so he can stake claim that, hey, I'm better than you. I beat you in Battleground. Why don't you? And you know what could happen afterwards is, Baron Corbin attacks him on the SmackDown following Battleground, and then Nakamura said, I don't know what your problem is. I beat you. If you think you have a problem with me, you can put your briefcase up and I'll wrestle you. And I know there's been feuds like that before that people say, well, why is he going to put up the briefcase? Because he's mad at Nakamura. That would be the motivation. And that he, oh, okay. But, that would be the motivation, is that his pride is on the line because he's a Money in the Bank winner. And if he thinks he can't beat Nakamura, then why does he think he can be world champion? So I mean, it can happen. It can happen that way. So I predict Nakamura is going to get a clean win. I think it's going to be a good match, though. Corbin's really grown since NXT, And I don't know if I think I pretty much said this on that thing. Those guys, and just like Elias Sampson, when he was in NXT, he was never going to get over in NXT to the extent of, Balor, Owens, Joe, Shinsuke, Nakamura. Like, he was never going to get over. They were never going to get over. Elias got over as a heel pretty good in NXT, but they never did anything major with him. And I think the reason why some of these guys, they don't do much with them in NXT except for just put them in like minor feuds and just give them the experience is that they know when they get to the main roster, they're going to be used pretty well just because of their size, their demeanor, the way they handle themselves. It's amazing. And I think, right now a good example of that is Killian Dane, Alexander Wolf, things like that. They're not doing much with them. And the reason why, I think, is because they know, Triple H knows, that when they get to the main roster, Vince is going to see them and go, I have a perfect plan for them. And they're not going to need anything because they're going to be put into a great storyline, and more likely they're going to get over one way or the other. Bad guy, good guy, whatever. And they're going to have a storyline, and they're going to stick around for a while. So Baron Corbin has definitely done that, and I think he's exceeded people's expectations. It's just the funniest thing about it is that people like that, we're shocked now that we're cheering for some of these people like Baron. People enjoy watching him do that. Elias Sampson, people hate him, but people respect his work right now because he's doing really, really great work on Monday Night Raw. And wouldn't be surprised if they put a strap on him at some point. Even if they came back with like a TV title or something like that, I think they should have something like that, like a TV championship where somebody defends their title every week. And it'd be something to kind of pop ratings too, is because the title would basically be meaningless. It's just a title to put on somebody so they can defend every single week, and every single week they would defend the championship, and it could change hands multiple times. It wouldn't matter. You could put the belt on Elias Sampson. The next week, Titus O'Neil gets the belt, and Elias wins it back the next week, and they have a few. They fight the pay-per-view for TV. WCW had a TV title. They had the pay-per-views, but they also had it where they defended the pay-per-view. They defended it all the time on Nitro. And sometimes they didn't defend it at the pay-per-views because they defended them every night on Nitro. But sometimes they did defend them at the pay-per-views. So they could have something like that. I think they need to bring another belt back. Just a useless title. Even if it's like the European Championship, just bring something back that they could just throw out there and have a title just for meaningless, people to fight over, like Titus and Apollo Crews and Kalisto and Star Truth, whatever. Anyways, the women's fatal five-way number one contenders match. See, I have a different opinion on this than some people, and that if you want to build to a good SummerSlam match, if Raw is going to build to Sasha versus Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, which that's what I think they're doing, because Alexa Bliss is taking on, I would assume, somebody at SummerSlam. And it seems like they're building towards Sasha and Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, even if it's Bayley, which I'm not interested in at all. I think Sasha and Alexa did a great job and great balls of fire what they did. If they're going to compete with that, the only way to do that is I have a face versus face match where they just tear the house down. And they have a tremendous match and people just can't stop talking about it. So if in terms they want to match what Raw is doing, I think what they could do is have Becky in this number one contenders match would set her up to face Naomi at SummerSlam in a great women's match. The only thing that I see possibly happening, though, is if that happens, Carmella will probably cash in and interject either before SummerSlam and just put her name onto the match, or she'll cash in at SummerSlam and use the briefcase. But I have a feeling that maybe she might save that till WrestleMania and use that to get the belt then, because the men did it, but the women haven't done it. So I can see it happening. So, I mean, men have done it, but another thing that they could say the women haven't done, and they did it, and it'll be the first ever, women's Money in the Bank winner. So kind of cool. So yeah, I see Becky. It's kind of weird though. Carmella hasn't been wrestling very much lately since she won Money in the Bank. So it's like, I know she has the briefcase, but why is she not wrestling? Like, it doesn't make no sense. Because that's like the whole point of it. Like, you have to carry the briefcase down and wrestle, and she could use it. And Ellsworth is still banned from ringside, so it's like, I don't understand that. Like, why is Ellsworth still banned? Are they writing him off TV, or what's going on with that? Oh, and let's note here, I want to note this. Nobody's mentioned that Big Cass is on Raw. He turned heel. Carmella's in real life boyfriend. So I wonder, just wonder, next year they're going to lead this on, let Cass do his thing, and then put them together. And they'll kind of have like a mini stable, going on. And if they could add somebody else, I wonder who they'd add. Why? This bugs me. And I know this is a SmackDown pay-per-view, but I just want to bring this up because I'm bringing up the fact about Carmella, talking about her. Where's Ellsworth? That doesn't mean anything. Why is Ellsworth not there? It doesn't matter. She's already got the briefcase. Wrestling very much. So what's the point? But Big Cass is a heel. So next year, more likely, they're probably going to be put together. Either Cass is going to come to SmackDown or Carmella is going to go to Raw and be with Cass. Maybe they'll switch, and Cass will come to SmackDown and Carmella go to Raw. But that would be horrible. But if they both went to Raw, and let's say like Alexa comes back to SmackDown, or let's say Sasha comes to SmackDown, Charlotte goes back to Raw. Nia Jax comes to SmackDown, which I don't know. I don't know. There's some women like if they come up, so many things I want to talk about. But why didn't they just turn Enzo and Cass heel? I think it would have made more sense if they could turn the club face, turn Enzo heel, Enzo and Cass heel, kept them together. Then Carmella could have been with them like next year, probably more likely, and they could have had a stable. It would have been a really cool stable. I'm not saying they could still not do it, because Enzo seems like he could be a little bit two-faced. He even comes like that on that, like as his character comes off as that. So it could still happen. Like a year from now, he could turn heel and screw over the Big Show or screw over somebody that he's affiliated with at the time and turn heel, or just show up with Cass and help him win a title or something, help him win the World Championship or something, or Money in the Bank next year. If he ends up on SmackDown and Enzo's there, or Raw somehow gets Money in the Bank, which I think that might happen next year. I'm assuming, because I think SmackDown's had it like 2 years in a row, Money in the Bank. That's what I thought. Like last year, who had it? Yeah, because Dean had it, I think. Well, no, I don't think the brands were split when they had the Money in the Bank last time. Because Dean had it, because he cashed in on Rollins. So yeah. So they had it. I think he had the briefcase before, and then the brand split happened. Yeah. But anyway, before we move on from the women's match, I think Becky Lynch is going to win. But beside that, the women are kind of weird right now. So I'm kind of good. I like that the women's tournament is coming, and I hope that they make a show. And whatever they do with the show, if they merge it with like 205 Live or merge it with the UK tournament, whatever they're going to do with it. But I think they just need to conglomerate 205 Live, UK, the women's, the new thing, and kind of start kind of another promotion with it and call it something else. Get snazzy with the name, have the fans vote on it or something, come up with a name and name the product, put it on the WWE Network. It'd be a pure WWE Network thing. It would have a huge following probably. And plus, it'll give the WWE an opportunity to see the women firsthand rotate some of these women in the WWE and say, hey, we're going to send you to this new brand because we want you to freshen up and come back later on. So for example, I know there's an Asian chick, a couple Asian chicks in the tournament. I believe Tully Blanchard's daughter is in this, her granddaughter, somebody is in this. There was a bunch of girls. I think somebody that was trained by Gangrel. I've seen some chick. So just imagine if some of these girls got really popular and they're like, hey, we want to sign you. We like you. You do really great wrestling during the tournament. We're going to bring you to the main roster. You want to go on Raw. You're going to go SmackDown. So the two girls get called up directly from the tournament, go right up to the main roster. Then they send Nia Jax to wrestle with these people and say, hey, learn how to wrestle with these girls, do a little bit more training. We like what you're doing. You did a really great job. We're going to send you away for the opening of the thing and have her come down and like squash 3 women in the first show that they have and like make her win the championship over there. Legitimize, I guess, the company having her win the women's title as soon as she walks into the company. Have her do that. Send Nia Jax away. Put that new girl on Raw. Let it go. SmackDown. You send Lana. Go learn. Go over there. Learn. Come back. People will not forget you. Send her over there for a year. Have her come back. Nia Jax, you would bring her back sooner. You would throw her on SmackDown and have her and Tamina wrestle. And Nia Jax could be a babyface when you bring her back up. All these other wrestlers that you have that are good, Becky, Naomi, Charlotte, they're good. You don't need to do anything with them. But here's the thing that you would have. You have this other company that you can give the WWE Universe a break from on the main roster. And you move them over there like a girl like Bayley. Things aren't working out on the main roster. Send her to this company where basically Vince should say, hey, Triple H, you're the one that orchestrated the CWC, the Women's Mae Young Classic, the UK thing. You work on this brand as well. So Vince kind of outsourcing everything to Triple H with NXT and these big tournaments. Say, okay, here's your new promotion. You run that too. He can build this thing, build Bayley into a huge star, build Lana into a decent star. You would have a monster. You could rotate people, 205 Live and things like that. 205 Live could just go away and it would be incorporated into this brand that he would have because it would just be, whatever. And you could put the cruiserweights that Vince McMahon and the main company want to see into this. So, I mean, this should have been a separate video. But anyway, that's why I went on to see. Anyways, Becky wins, I think. Tag team tournament. Tag team title match. Usos. New Day. Yeah, I don't think New Day's going to win this. This is one pretty, it's pretty obvious. They're not going to win the titles here. If they did, it'd be very, very shocking. I think it would be very surprising that they just pull the trigger and they win the belts here. But I could see. The only thing is, I just don't see how they're going to get to SummerSlam from here and they're going to defend the titles again. Like, they're probably going to have some sort of like number one contenders match, like Breezango versus New Day on SmackDown or something like that, or have some kind of 3-way, 4-way like number one contenders match to crown New Day as the new contenders for the titles or something. But I do think Usos somehow are going to walk out of this. The winners, I think it's pretty obvious. They're going to probably get the SummerSlam is probably going to be a bunch of title changes are probably going to happen at SummerSlam. Yeah. Then we get Sami Zayn is going to take on Mike Kanellis. Unless Sami gets a win here, just continue the feud. So they're trading wins back and forth. I could see it. Kanellis probably is going to get another win. Maybe even have a good match and kind of show the WWE universe what he can do. Because I think some people might not even know who he is. So in the universe, like some casual fans probably don't watch a lot of Ring of Honor, and when he was on GFW / TNA / Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, a lot of people didn't watch it. Some people just started watching again because they basically rebranded and everything, and people are kind of paying attention again. But he's not on there now, so people don't really know much about. I don't think Mike Kanellis, Mike Bennett, Miracle Mike Bennett. People really don't know him, I don't think, as well as some people may think. So they probably will give him another win here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sami Zayn won. But our prediction is Mike Kanellis. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Yeah, I don't see AJ losing this belt anytime soon. I think when he loses this belt, it's going to be somebody major. It's either going to be Nakamura winning the U.S. title, or it's going to be somebody getting their come up. Either Chad Gable, Ty Dillinger, Dolph Ziggler getting the belt, or something like that. It's going to be somebody that's going to make a name off AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is going to make him look like $1 million. And in the process, it'll be his transition to the world title scene. So I think that he's going to make somebody look really, really good when he does drop the belt. I kind of hate to see Nakamura, but I think in order to build the fan base in America, maybe they might put the belt on Nakamura, and then maybe next year we'll see his world title reign, but have him have that U.S. title, huge long title reign as U.S. champion, I think, to solidify that the fans are really behind him. I think people understand that he's purely a world championship. He's a main eventer, like, all the way. John Cena versus Rusev. Does anybody think Rusev's going to win? I mean, does anybody really? I mean, if they wanted to shock us, they would have him win. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be John Cena. Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. Jinder Mahal's been really good. I think a lot of people were, including me, was extremely shocked when he won that Battle Royal. And I'm like, what? Jinder Mahal? And I think I was half asleep when the Battle Royal was going on. And then I kind of woke up and I realized Jinder won the Battle Royal. And I'm like, what? I was completely shocked that he won the Battle Royal. But he's been really good as a world champion on SmackDown. So, I don't know. I don't think that he's going to lose the belt. I think that he's going – and some people think that John Cena is going to challenge him at SummerSlam and John Cena is going to beat him. I don't think Jinder is going to lose for a while. Like, I would not be surprised if he holds on to that belt until Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble. And that's just my opinion, because I think that they see a lot in him. They're trying to build him as a credible champion, and they see something. He's doing great work with the Singh brothers as his, managers, or entourage, whatever you want to call them. So I think they're kind of building him up very, very strongly. So, yeah, I definitely see him holding that belt for a long time. I don't think he's even going to drop it at SummerSlam. They're building him up to be very, very strong as a champion. I just wish that other people would acknowledge him and go, "Why are you world champion?" Or making jokes at him saying, "Hey, you think you beat me? You can call me out to the ring anytime. I'll take that title from you." Something like, why did the AJ and Owens and They never like even talk about like the world title. It's like, really? Like, it is the biggest prize. What anybody wants to say, it is the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown. And it's like Baron like teasing a gender. I did like that. But I don't think anybody's going to cash in on him. I think the Baron or Nakamura is probably going to hold on. If Nakamura gets a briefcase, he'll probably just immediately cash in. That's just my thinking if he ever gets a hold of the briefcase. But I see Jinder hold on to the thing. I don't think there will be a cash in at Battleground. I don't think there will be, just because of what happens during the Nakamura Baron match. Now, would be surprising is if Jinder wins the match and he's celebrating with the Singh brothers. The Punjabi prison lifts. If we see the Punjabi prison lifted when he wins, be prepared, because there may be a cash in. But if the Punjabi prison is down and the pay-per-view ends, then you can damn well be sure that there will not be a cash in, because it just can't happen. What are they going to have? They're going to have a second Punjabi prison match with Baron challenging him. But I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I would not be surprised if Baron somehow cashes in before SummerSlam, or Nakamura beats him for that briefcase on SmackDown. But I don't think they would have that kind of a match on SmackDown. It would probably be at SummerSlam. They had some kind of briefcase match or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'm kind of excited. Probably doing a review Monday. Do a live, probably on my phone maybe, before I go to work. I'm working like 6 days in a row this week, so it sucks. Balls. Anyways, leave your comments down below. Who do you think is going to win in 2017? Don't be cheating now. Don't be going back in time and saying, "Oh, see, I predicted all this." Blah, 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 blah. Put it down below before pay-per-view happens tonight. We'll see how close you get. Okay, this is a pretty easy pay-per-view to predict. It's probably, Great Balls of Fire was pretty predictable. This is the predictable time of the year. When it gets to WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, that's when everything goes out the window. They're just trying to book dream matches, trying to set up the biggest WrestleMania they could ever book. And then when it gets to WrestleMania, it's a letdown. That's the way it is every year. Lately. Good match part. Anyways. Leave your comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe as always. And I'll see you guys later. Keep rocking. Keep on watching wrestling. Later, guys.